Hi everybody, welcome back to New England Fire Cooking. I'm Aaron Higgins and it is March 11th, which means St. Patrick's Day is about 6 days away. And this time of year, everybody starts thinking about what they're going to have for St. Patrick's Day dinner if they celebrate St. Patrick's Day. So usually it involves a lot of beer and a lot of corned beef and cabbage. That's kind of a staple, here in the U.S. Everybody likes to make a big corned beef brisket with some cabbage and potatoes and carrots. Stop and Shop is running a huge sale on them right now. I bought $103 in corned beef brisket for $37 yesterday, and it was absolutely amazing. Great deal. Really great deal. So get to your local Stop and Shop and go and check that deal out. But back to what we're cooking here. I've had a few people just ask me in person and also send me some messages. Hey, what's good to do on St. Patrick's Day that isn't necessarily corned beef? Some people want to just try something new, and then believe it or not, unfortunately, there are some people that just aren't a big fan of corned beef and cabbage. I don't know how you could be a person like that, but those people exist. So they still want to celebrate St. Patrick's Day, they just don't want to do corned beef and cabbage. So what is a good Irish alternative? And today what I'm going to show you guys how to do is my version of bangers and mash with a cheesy smoked mashed potato that is going to be absolutely fantastic. This is an authentic Irish dish. They actually have this in Ireland, whereas corned beef and cabbage is what Irish immigrants that came to America began to eat, and that's how it got its stigma, or I guess the stereotype, as an Irish food. But if you go to Ireland, it's not originally from there, but bangers and mash is. It's typically served as a light dinner or a snack or an appetizer, something like that. But when it's done right, it is absolutely awesome, and you can serve it up family style, and it's real easy to make. So let's get to the grilling. So here I have some peeled white potatoes, and I've got them in this pot of water, and I've got it on high because I want to bring these bad boys to a boil. Once I've got the water boiling, I'm going to reduce the heat, and I'm just going to let it simmer until these potatoes are fork tender. Once your potatoes are fork tender, it's time to start adding some ingredients to them and turn them into the mashed potatoes that we're going to smoke. First, we're going to go with a half a stick of butter. And then we're going to go with half a brick of cream cheese, an eyeballed tablespoon of garlic, minced garlic. I'm going to put in about a tablespoon of kosher salt. And I just eyeball this. I do this with salt and pepper. I've made mashed potatoes so many millions of times that I don't really measure anything out anymore. I just kind of eyeball it. I've done it so many times, I kind of just know what it is. But it's about a tablespoon, give or take. You could always do this at the very end and just kind of season it to taste, so to speak. Now I'm going to introduce about half a cup of milk. If I need to add more, I can add more. The best thing to do is always just start low. And if you have to, add more. You can always add more. You can't take it away. Now here I'm using these mixers to just kind of mix and mash everything up. I've noticed that it's definitely faster than using a masher, and it does a better job of getting everything nice and smooth. It's not nearly as lumpy when you use a mixer like this. So, faster, better texture, I'm all in for the mixer. I'm just going to move this around until they're nice and fluffy and have a nice smooth texture to them. Once you got your mashed potatoes to the consistency that you like, it's time to cheese them up. And I'm using some of this Irish grass-fed oak smoked cheddar cheese. And I'm just going to use a cheese grater to grate all this up. And I'm going to use a large side on this. I'm going to sprinkle this right over the top of these mashed potatoes. And I'm being pretty generous with it. I like cheesy. Cheesy is good. Cheesy is delicious. Cheesy is it's just a win. Cheesy is just a win. So be generous with it. Sprinkle it right over the top. And the next thing is going to be to fire up the Traeger and get these mashed potatoes on the smoker. So while the Traeger is warming up, we've got these Irish banger sausages. Got these from McQuaid's Marketplace. And we're going to bust these out, and we're going to get to cooking these too. Now what you see me doing with these sausages here is kind of a personal preference of mine. What I'm doing is I'm taking this boning knife and I'm just making a cut right down the very center of this sausage. And what I'm doing here is I'm pulling this skin off. I'm very carefully pulling the skin off. And one of the reasons I'm doing this is because when you cook a sausage with the skin on, it has a tendency to want to curl up on you or, kind of turn into a crescent shape.
or a semicircle shape. And I don't like that. It's just a preference of mine. If you want to cook them with the skin on, that's fine. What I'm doing is I'm just kind of pinching this meat back together again. And by taking the skin off, this sausage is going to lay nice and flat on the Blackstone. And I'm going to do this to all of the sausages in this packet. Okay, got the Traeger fired up. We're running right at 350 degrees. I'm using hickory pellets, and I'm going to set these mashed potatoes right down in the very center of this cooking grate, close it up, and I'm going to let it run for about 20 minutes or until the cheese is bubbly. Okay, and in the meantime, while our mashed potatoes are cooking, I got the Blackstone fired up and throwing a little bit of oil down. Always throw a little bit of oil down. And now I'm going to lay these sausages down, and it's time to get these bad boys cooked. So I'm going to set them right in the center of the flat top, just like this. Be nice and gentle with these. Remember, there's no skin on them. You don't want them falling apart on you. You want them to hold together. If you want to bust them apart, that's your prerogative. But I'm going to hold these bad boys right together. And this little itty-bitty sausage at the very end, I'll give you 3 guesses who that's for. That's going to be for my 3-year-old daughter. And after a couple minutes, you just want to rotate these guys right around. As you can see here, we're getting some good color on that one side. Again, one of the reasons I really like taking the skin off these sausages is that you can cook them really, really evenly. They sit nice and flat for you. You can see that browning color, that nice color that we're getting from this Blackstone here. And we're going to give it a couple minutes on each side until we rotate these bad boys all the way around, and they're looking nice and brown on all sides. And right now we're getting into our final turns here. Oh yeah, look at that color. This smells absolutely amazing. These are cooking really, really nice. This Blackstone makes short work of these sausages, and I'll tell you that much. Really, really digging the way that these sausages are cooking on this Blackstone. I mean, look at that color. Look at that color. Nice, even cooking all the way around. Use a good pair of tongs. It's easy to move them around. Get this little one here and rotate that one around. Great color all around. Couple more minutes, it'll be time to serve these up next to some mashed potatoes with some onion gravy. Okay, so now it's time to check on these mashed potatoes here. How are we doing? Oh, that cheese is nice and melty. This looks absolutely fantastic. It's time to pull these mashed potatoes off and serve them up next to some Irish bangers with some onion gravy. Now, as you can see, these sausages are just finishing up here. They look absolutely awesome. Great color to them. Cooked nice and even. It's time to eat. To make this onion gravy, we're using McCormick Spice onion gravy. And you can use red onions and beef broth and red wine and seasonings and make your own if you want. But this is nice and easy. Just following the instructions on the back of this package. And I'm going to do a double batch here. I got 2 cups of boiling water. And I'm going to use 2 packets of onion gravy. Can't have enough gravy. I'm going to stir this in, let it thicken. And then we're going to pour it over these bangers and mash, and it's going to be supper time. Okay, so we got a nice hearty helping here, and now we're just going to ladle this gravy right on top of these bangers and mash, and that is looking absolutely beautiful. Of course, you can't forget a little bit of chopped fresh parsley. This gives it some nice color, a little bit of a flavor pop. You got some aromatic herb flavor profile. Just to add to this, it's going to be absolutely delicious.
Okay, so here we are. I've got a plate of this bangers and mash, and I can tell you it smells absolutely fantastic. And I'm going to get right into this, and I'm going to see how we did. Let's get a bite of the sausage, and then get a nice cheesy bite of potatoes with some of that gravy. And let's see how we did. One of the things I love about Irish banger sausage is that they're very, very mild. They're very, very mild, but they're packed full of flavor. It's a really, really strange way to try to describe it, but they're very just easygoing and just I guess you could call it just a very smooth and well-balanced, savory flavor profile, which I really like about Irish banger sausages. Also, this onion gravy, this is the secret star to the show. So you can use whatever gravy you'd like. You can use brown gravy. This onion gravy was a little bit elusive, and I couldn't find it Couldn't find it in Stop and Shop. I couldn't find it at Walmart. I was able to find it at McQuaid's Marketplace, where I've got these banger sausages. But for whatever reason, if you can't find it at your local grocery store or supermarket, I'll put a link to it in the description. You can just get it online. Fresh parsley is also key to this. It just adds a little bit of aromatic, herby flavor notes to this whole shebang here. This is absolutely fantastic. And I like cutting the skin off. It just makes it a little bit easier to cut. And again, they lay nice and straight and flat, and you can cook them really evenly on the Blackstone. Really dug the Blackstone on this. Just made really quick work of these banger sausages. If you have any interest in Blackstone, please check out the link in the description of this video. It's our affiliate link, and that helps us out big time. You know, you could serve this up with a couple of fried eggs, and it would make a great breakfast. Great breakfast, but that smoked cheddar, along with the smokiness from the Traeger, has really done these potatoes justice. Again, this is my go-to recipe for mashed potatoes. It's usually cream cheese, butter, salt, pepper, garlic, milk or cream. I didn't have any cream, and I forgot to grab it when I was at the grocery store, so I just went with 2% milk. Not usually what I go with. I usually go with cream, but worked just fine. And then you can use whatever smoked cheese you want. You want Gouda, you want cheddar like I use. If you can find smoked provolone, that's really good too. My brother's got a killer mashed potatoes recipe using smoked provolone. But again, the smokiness from the Traeger, got the cheese nice and bubbly. It's just perfect, absolutely perfect. If you have any interest in Traeger pellet grills, please check out the link in the description of this video. That's also an affiliate link for us, and it helps us out big time when you use those links to go and check out those products. I'm gonna stack it up down here. Oh yeah, that's just killer. Yep, this is a win, an absolute win. If you've never tried authentic Irish recipes yet, you're missing out. It makes for some really, really good comfort food. I mean, it's an island in the North Atlantic where it rains most of the time. Food's got to be good. I mean, you know, you need comfort food if you're going to live in a place like that. And you're going to need comfort beer as well. So, guys, if you like what you see here and you like what we're doing on this channel, please give us a subscribe. Check us out on social media. We're on Instagram. We're on Facebook. Again, if you have any interest in the products that we use in these videos, go to the links in the description of our videos. There are affiliate links. It helps us out huge. Leave your comments in the comments section or send us a message. We'd love to hear from you guys. Thanks for hanging out with us today. Hope you have a good St. Patrick's Day, and we'll see you next time.